Hello, welcome to another episode of Just for Girls. This is Girls Alive Counseling Initiatives. Today, we'll be talking about understanding your sexuality. Understanding your sexuality. As a girl, you are a sexual being. Every human is sexual. Is a sexual being. That's how God made us. But oftentimes girls grow up without really understanding and without any information about their sexuality. So they grow up with questions. They are confused about certain things they see, certain things they experience about themselves. So in the next couple of episodes, we'll be talking about understanding your sexuality. First and foremost, I want to say, as when you are born as a girl, you had in you certain innate characteristics that sit there until a particular point in time in your growth, and then they begin to show up. That's what we call adolescent stage in the life of any young boy or any young girl. The period when certain changes begin to take place in you, transiting you from childhood to adulthood. So it's a transition. Adolescence period is a transition from childhood to adulthood. And in that transition, various changes begin to take place in your body. Things that you never used to be concerned about before now become of concerns to you. As a 7-year-old, as a 5-year-old, you were not concerned about the boy sitting next to you or playing with you or bathing naked. It didn't matter to you. But a point comes in your life that all those things become things that you observe, that you pay attention to. So in your own life, in your own body as a girl, changes begin to take place. There's what we call the early adolescent stage. Then the next phase is the middle adolescent stage, and then the third stage is the late adolescent stage. In the early adolescence, certain physical changes begin to take place. Age 9, age 10, you begin to see, you begin to experience hair in your pubic area, you begin to sweat a lot more. For some girls, maybe early enough, they begin to have breast buds. Your breast begin to develop gradually, just like a bud, like a seed. It begins to grow. And then still in early adolescence, some girls begin to experience what we call menarche in the medical terminology, but in the layman's language, what we call menstruation, your period begins. So these changes bring a lot of things, affect us in lots of ways, especially as girls. They affect your psychology, they affect your emotions, all this as a result of the building up of hormones, the hormonal changes that are taking place in you. There are certain hormones in the body of a girl that make her prepare to become a woman. So these hormones begin to come to the fore, and then bring changes in your body. You begin to have some thickness in your hip areas, thickness in your backside, and like I said earlier on, your breast begin to develop. These are characteristics of early adolescence. And still in early adolescence, that's when the onset of what we call menstruation, your monthly period begins. And as you go into this, you need to understand this is what every woman goes through, because it's a transitioning from childhood to adulthood. But if it is not properly managed, it can become problematic for some people. So you need to understand your body. You need to understand why you're feeling the way you are feeling. These are hormones that are changing, that are growing and influencing some of the things that you are beginning to experience. So in the first stage of adolescence, that early stage, these are the changes that you begin to see. The development of breast, pubic hair, thickening of your hip area, enlargement of your hip area, your voice becomes, distinct and all that. And you discover you are sweating a lot more. In one of the episodes we had earlier on, I talked about body odor. This is the time you begin to experience it. For some people, you begin to experience it this early, so you're wondering about the changes. At times you begin to have some secretions, some discharge in your private area, because changes are taking place in your uterus. The lining of your uterus is making preparation for the eggs. Your eggs are developing, your eggs are developing, and then the release of an egg in a cycle in a month comes down to the uterus, and then is shed as blood, and then you have your period, what you call your period. You need to understand what your body is going through in this stage. So that's the first part, the early adolescence. And I want you to know that it's the same thing that every girl goes through, wherever you are on the face of the earth, whichever country, whatever your race, whatever your religion, every girl goes through this. So I want you to just be rest assured that it's a normal part of your body, but how you manage it is what matters. And these are some of the things we are going to be looking at in the next couple of episodes. Understanding your sexuality and managing your sexuality very well. It's a beautiful thing to be a girl. It's a beautiful process you go through as you go through adolescent stage. But when it's not properly managed, it becomes a problem to some people. But until I come your way the next episode, continue to be that graceful girl, that graceful princess, living your life to the utmost. God bless you. Amen.
I'm blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. I'm blessed. Oh, I'm blessed. From the rising of the sun to the going